Don't you worry, the clip's about to begin, but don't forget to subscribe. Or else, don't make me turn this website around.
All right, so we have a couple more calls to get to before we start digging in on the Super Chats. Ann in New England, how are you? How are you feeling?
I'm doing great. Thanks for taking my call. Hello to Dr. Ray and you, Matt.
Yeah, welcome to Hang Up. How can we help?
Well, something you said at the top of the show about describing leaving religion as liberating really resonated with me, and I remember coming to that label, and then also at the same time I was feeling pretty darn good about that. I also feel, and I still feel at times, really frustrated and angry at how the message that you are given, that you are separated from God, that you are suffering a crisis of faith, that you're not praying hard enough, that there's something wrong with you, instead of you are freeing yourself from these beliefs that are, for me, it was insomnia. Since I was 7 years old, I believed that I could be possessed by a devil, and I couldn't sleep. And it just turned off and on. And I feel like when I became liberated, I could finally close my eyes and know that wasn't going to happen to me.
Wow, that's an interesting story, Ann. If
so
that had
I guess,
continued,
I didn't.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I didn't, when the call screener was talking to me, I didn't really have a question, and I've been listening to the show so far, and I suppose part of the question is, I did this on my own. Well, not really on my own. I mean, I reached out and I finally found people, and funnily enough, I had always been told that, when you have problems, you go to a priest, so that was my mental health. And funnily enough, the priest said, you don't have to come to me and talk about this. Why don't you go find some friends? That's actually part of my process of moving away from the belief system that finally liberated me from a lot of, really horrible things. I still suffer from insomnia, but it's not because I think I'm going to be possessed by a devil, which is what I had heard when I was a child. But I do finally have a question for you, because I think that's probably more helpful, is as I have been letting people know, when I say to people I'm God-free, sometimes use that phrase, or I say that I feel liberated. I'm not a recovering Christian. I'm liberated. And what my question is, when I say that to them, they are so shocked that I almost don't want to share it. And how do you handle that response from people? Well, you probably don't have to anymore, because people probably know that you're an atheist, but many of folks around me do not know that.
Yeah, on occasion I still mention it, but quite frankly, in my daily life, well, granted, the last year I've been locked up in the house because of a global pandemic, but before that, if I was out on the town, it just never really comes up. It's very specific circumstances where it comes up. I never avoid telling people. I don't tend to avoid using the A word. I'm fine with it. I just tend to add a little bit more. Hey, I'm an atheist, and essentially I don't believe in God stuff. But I don't have to deal with that as much. Darrel, I mean, imagine you're in a similar boat.
I don't encounter it a lot, but if I do, I'm very quick to just say I'm an atheist and keep on moving. Most people, I don't know. I'm 70 years old. I don't give a shit. So that helps, I think, a lot. I want to go back to something you said earlier, Ann. Sleep problems. They're normal in the sense that we see them a lot in the general population. But you mentioned it had something to do with your religious training, and that was a little bit of a red flag. Let me just say that a good therapist who's there, and not every therapist has this training, but some therapists are really good at teaching you how to get better sleep and help you find out. It's not psychoanalysis. I'm not saying your childhood trauma is the reason you can't sleep now, but you build habits as a child, And those habits move on into adulthood, and the roots of them are then irrelevant. It's a habit. It's like, I started smoking when I was 18. Well, why I started smoking at 18 is irrelevant now that I'm 40 years old and I want to quit. That's kind of the thing. So what I'm just saying is, consider how much of your life is disrupted because you don't get a good night's sleep 3 out of 7 nights or 5 out of 7 nights. Go get some help for that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's not the reason I still have insomnia, but those habits, from childhood during formative years are clearly still part of the pattern. But yeah, I'm working on it with my medical doctor with,
Oh, good.
dark shades and other kinds of things. And so it's not like I wouldn't use the word suffering, but there are times when I feel it's like, this would have been a lot better if I hadn't believed that every time I closed my eyes. I mean, really? Why do I still dealing with this? But, I really appreciate it. Thank you. And thanks for taking my call. And good luck with that.
Absolutely.
I'm just really excited about the work you're doing, and I will find a way to make a donation to keep you going.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. We appreciate it, Ann. Thanks so much. Call us back and let us know, if you run into other problems. Because while I've had trouble sleeping, I don't attribute any of it to the religion and other stuff. I just don't take care of myself well enough. But thanks, Ann. You want to hang up on us?
Oh, no. Hang up on me.
Okay. Bye. Yep. She's got it. Last call for today, and then we're going to dig into Super Chats. And by the way, just as a reminder, for all the people who are donating by Super Chat, all of these Super Chats and all the revenue from this show during the period of the fundraiser are going to go to recovering from religion. What else do you need to know? Oh, I know what you need to know. The mods will also link directly to the Giverly or GiveLively.org fundraiser for this. I noticed that it's currently at $980 out of a $5,000 goal. So thank you to everybody who rushed over there to make donations there, as well as the Super Chats. We will try to get a total on tonight's Super Chats and everything else. But at the end of the day, we're just going to let this thing run its course, do the math, and everything from this show just goes directly to, or as directly as possible, to recovering from religion. Hey, we've crossed the $1,000 threshold there on the donations. By the way, as a reminder, that link that we're posting to the secure.givelively.org, there should also be a link there to the big anniversary show fundraiser thing tomorrow night, where you've got just more guests than you could shake a stick at. Obviously you're going to have Mandisa and Seth and Anthony Magnabosco and V and Dave Warnock and Aaron Raw. And I'm just looking at pictures, recognizing the people who are going to be there, and Dragnot and others, all hosted by Ethan and Jenna and everybody else who's there. So you'll have an opportunity to watch a bigger and better show and contribute more tomorrow as well.
Hey, thanks for checking out this clip for The Line. While you're here, hit that like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and then share this with that bitter uncle of yours who loves talking about the good old days.